This is one of those prime examples of one of those films you actually get into the industry for, where you do a combination of practical and digital creatures that have real personalities. And normally we just get to make like a hand or a claw or something like that, and then makeup effects and nothing really in between. But we've been able to participate a lot with the bigger builds and that kind of stuff, and we don't really get that opportunity anymore. And it's just in the context of a story that it's just a lot of fun. They're not just, they don't just slobber and growl, they have real personalities. It was Michael's decision. It was mainly his details. Like, it was, there were so many different designs that came. There was lots of different versions of each one, but he sort of brought everything in. A lot of these creatures, his decisions were made about more personality types of detail, and how the different slimes would reflect that, and how just the different parts would reflect that. So it wasn't necessarily just being bigger and more grand. It was more, yeah, it was the little fiddly details, and that's the sort of stuff that I really liked, because it's those little comedic details that people feel the effect of, but don't actually have their attention drawn to. And yeah, Michael was really good with those kinds of details. The best research and the best go-to source was anything medical online with tumors, slimes, moss, fungus, all that kind of stuff. Because they're all mutated creatures. It's not like they're designed on purpose. It's like they really aren't meant to be the way that they are. So, there was just way too much time spent on looking at tumors and pustules and slimes and all that kind of stuff. And but it was all that stuff that we kind of brought into these creatures to make it look like they're all here by accident. I do have a favorite, but it changes constantly. There's there's all the small sniffer creatures like these ones here. These were a lot of fun to make, which are all like hand puppets and all that kind of stuff. Really loved building Mavis. Once she came to life, Toby Barron was the puppeteer who brought her to life, and she was one of those rare cases where you just see her, you forget that she's made out of fiberglass, you forget that there's an actress doing her lines, and you forget that there's a puppeteer. She's just Mavis, and you sort of really get into this to have those moments. So she's a highlight, but I think my favorite would probably be what is currently called the Buzzard, which is this character here, because we got to do all that practically. And we were pretty sure that at some point it was going to be replaced. Maybe by the time this comes out, he'll be replaced. I don't know, but we still got to build it anyway, and do all the action stuff with it. So it changes. At the moment, it's a cross between Mavis and the Buzzard.